So it's an opportunity to bring things up from the surface that are deep-seated emotions for release and clearing. And each of these moons has some interesting aspects going on with it. With the new moon in Cancer, that's happening in your 7th house of partnerships. And it's opposing Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn, in your sign. So there's potential that there could be, in your relationships, there could be some power struggles, ego battles. It really focuses on the things that control us, whether that be our own things like, addictions, or other people trying to control things, or our need for control. So that's a potential that could be showing up at the new moon. But there's also a trine in the sky of Earth. We've got Capricorn with Saturn there, and then it's trining Venus in Virgo and Uranus in Taurus. So the opportunity there is to just stay grounded. If there are ego battles or control dynamics or basically volcano energy, because that's Pluto energy happening around that new moon, around July 12th, you have the opportunity to just sort of switch gears and stay grounded. That's another option. You can either be one of the people on stage who's like acting out literally, or you can be one of the audience members just sort of like staying rooted and grounded and just watching it all go down. Because the Sabian symbol for this degree at Cancer that the new moon is at, and the sun is at with it, the Sabian symbol for that is a prima donna singing. So it could be a time where there's just everyone wants to be seen, everyone wants to be heard, people are just trying to shout louder than each other. But again, if you can just stay grounded, connect with that earth energy, it's really sweet. It's really like a harmonious feel if you can stay rooted and grounded and not get involved in any ego battles or dramas that are going on. And then with the full moon in your 2nd house, it's really shining a spotlight on your finances and your assets, Capricorn. There's a wonderful time. You may be coming to a place of arrival and completion in terms of what you own or what you possess. And it may be a time where you finally achieve something that you've been wanting for a while, something that you've been wanting deeply. This total lunar eclipse has to do with our feelings. So it's really going to bring up feelings about what it is that you own, what it is that you have. How do you feel about your finances? How do you even feel about your body? That's 2nd house energy as well. So lots of things to unpack there, and it could be a good time to release any outdated feelings that you've carried with you towards finances or assets, or it could just be a good time to enjoy what you've brought to you, because a full moon can be a time of culmination. It can be a good time of arrival. So, looking at your cards here, I see that you open the month with 2 2s in reverse. Is there something that you're having a hard time making a decision on, Capricorn? Because this is all about your personal power, your goals. This is 2 of Wands, where you want to go in life, what you want to achieve. And 2 of Coins means, where do I want to put my resources? Do I want to put them over here, or do I want to put them over here? Are you tangling between the potentially 2 lovers, or 2 projects, or 2 different directions? Whatever's going on, it's telling me with both of these in reverse that you're having a hard time making a decision on it. And it may be because you have too many options. This is 7 of Cups, and that you can't see your options clearly. It either could be an overabundance of options where it just feels overwhelming, or it feels like you've got too many choices, or that you can't even see any of your choices. That's all this Neptune fog energy. This means lots of choices, but in the reverse, it can mean too many to choose from, or not seeing any options at all. But what I like to point out in this card is that if you can identify an option, instead of it being like a castle in the sky and feeling far away, like I don't know if I could ever have that, or I don't know which one to choose, look at what is practical. Look at what is realistic. Sometimes this card can mean looking at things with pink rose-colored glasses on, or seeing things not for what they are. It's usually a good idea when this card shows up to do your due diligence, do your research, and really study like the pros and the cons of things, that's going to help you make a decision. If you maybe just write down all the pros and the cons to each of these options, you may be able to get balanced and figure out what choice is going to take you forward to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And I see that when you go through that process, Capricorn, it's going to lead you to great happiness. This is the most amount of happiness on a card, you know, the most amount of cups, which represent heart energy, emotional fulfillment. This is where it's going to lead you. And I see, you know, 10 of Cups and 9 of Cups, which are two of the most satisfied cards of satisfaction in the whole deck. So there may be a period at the beginning of July where you're feeling indecisive. You don't know which way to go or where to invest your resources or even what your options are. But I think that once you get clear about that and get practical and like write down the pros and cons and look at where things are going to lead you, it leads you to great happiness, and it also leads you to a new opportunity. This is Ace of Coins, and aces are always new beginnings. So this is a new job offer, new money, new lifestyle, could be a new relationship, but it's bringing in new fresh energy with it. And it looks like you're going to go from stormy waters to calmer seas or new horizons. Some of you may be doing some traveling here in the middle of the month. Either way, this is a card of recovery and healing. So it's saying either that I'm helping someone else move on from something, or someone else is helping me move on from something, or I'm helping myself. So which of those scenarios do you identify most with, Capricorn? There's definitely healing and recovery going on here. And I get the sense that it's related to this new thing that you're going to be doing. You may have some fear about jumping off into a new adventure. This is Fool, which is always depicted as jumping off a cliff. So you may have some fear, doubt, or resistance to this new beginning. But I see you taking it, and I see you being happy with it. You know, Ace of Coins and 9 of Cups together means something that you're going to be very satisfied with. But you may just have to get over some residual fears of like, do I look foolish doing this? Am I just being reckless? Am I being careless? But I don't think that's where you're at, Capricorn. I don't think that you take things on foolishly or recklessly. And I see you actually achieving great success with this thing. It's 6 of Wands up here. It's going to be good for your status, your reputation, your recognition. And on some level, you may know that. There may be some difficulties in terms of, again, decision making or a love relationship here at the end of the month. This is Lovers in reverse, and it means that two people are being closed off to one another, or you're closing off yourself. It's also about, again, not being sure of decisions. Sometimes this is a big decision that needs to be made, and you have to be true to yourself. You have to be authentic, just like these lovers are being authentic and real and vulnerable with one another. They're showing each other their true selves. So if you're presented with a dilemma or being closed off, it may just be a time to go within. What this is saying is that you know the answer inside already, Capricorn. You've got the information. You can trust your gut. You can trust your intuition on this. And it's going to lead you to success. It's going to lead you to victory and being the one who comes in on the white horse with the victory laurel here. So there is someone at the end of the month that I'm seeing who may want to challenge your success. This is 7 of Swords, and this means deception, lies, someone who's doing things in an underhanded way, someone who cuts corners. So be wary of that kind of energy. You don't want your success to be undermined by faulty actions or behaviors. There may be someone, what I'm actually seeing with this is that it's someone who's envious and jealous of your success. It could be an old lover. It could be an ex. But I don't see that stopping you. I see that with 10 of Cups, with 9 of Cups, and with 6 of Wands, it's almost like success is assured or guaranteed here. It's almost like you can snap your fingers and have what you want. But you're going to have to do some deliberating and decision making to see what your options are and what's going to be the best one for you that leads you here. You may have to get over some fears in the middle of the month about taking on a new project or having the leap of faith to receive this new thing and to move on to calmer waters, to move on to new horizons. But I see it as being very good for you, Capricorn. I think inherently and intuitively, you kind of already know what is going to bring you to success, regardless of other people creeping around and trying to kind of get what's not theirs. So I like this month for you, Capricorn. Just take your time making decisions. Identify your options on a really pragmatic level. Don't be afraid to take a risk, is what this is saying. It may lead you to something very, very good. And intuitively, you'll know the right thing to do. So trust your gut. Don't trust any external factors, even including me. Trust your instincts, and that will lead you to success.